while you start the show, Erik. Yeah. Yeah. When the show starts, I'm going to ask, so how did you want that dildo shipped, Soth?
Excellent.
Shocker.
Woo!
Wow. Sound issues on push to talk.
Oh my god. It's so cute.
I've tried my absolute best to make sure that, like, you know, it's as foolproof as possible, but sometimes you just can't.
Yeah, so I've been being forced to learn how to play Warhammer 40K. I'm not very good at it.
Well, you know, just think
There we
when
go.
you finally and
forced it to
eventually
happen.
meet
What?
can't think of his name.
All right, well, you're thinking of his name. I'm going to say, hey, welcome everybody to the night before Christmas, the night before Christmas show.
Yep.
Christmas Eve show.
I know. One or the other, whichever you prefer. It is the 23rd of December, 2023.
Unless you apparently live in Germany, in which case it is Christmas Eve. Or
No,
it's
no,
not
no,
Christmas
no,
Eve
no.
because they don't even celebrate Christmas Eve.
Yeah, they celebrate Christmas on Christmas Eve, according to Saw.
So do I. Like, so in my family.
So, what, you part German or what?
Polish.
What's going on there?
Well, like,
Polish.
you know,
Okay, so
three-quarters of
European
America
countries, certain European countries, have slightly different.
Bulgaria, Estonia, Lithuania, Slovakia, Sweden, Czech, and Cyprus.
So it's
there we go.
It's kind of like a Catholic thing too. So like in my family, we always had midnight mass. So you would still be celebrating on Christmas Day technically because it's midnight, but because they wanted to keep the children occupied during the horrible long mass at midnight, they would open up presents on Christmas Eve, so that way the kids had things to play with, you know, during mass or before mass or whatever, to tucker themselves out. And then Christmas Day is, you know, hanging out with family, eating good food, you know, but not presents. Like the presents part's always done on Christmas Eve in my family.
Oh, okay.
Did you do the candlelight mass or just the midnight mass?
Well, see, we're not my actual like immediate family. We're not Catholic. We always go to a Christmas Eve service. Sometimes it's usually in the evening. We would go to the late one, but like the past few years, we're like, man,
whole C&E or stuff, you know, Christmas and Easter.
Yeah, it just upsets our schedule. So we're doing 4:00 service this year, and we're having Christmas lunch instead of Christmas dinner.
Yeah, we would stay up pretty late. Big Italian family, right? Big Italian German family. There was presents that happened on Christmas Eve, and there are presents that happened Christmas Day. Santa came Christmas Day, overnight, right?
Talking about Italian families and Christmas, it's one thing which I saw that I was like, oh, I have to actually try that because that looks super yummy. Stromboli?
I think Stromboli was technically invented in the United States.
I mean, you know,
by an Italian person at an Italian restaurant.
It's Italian Americans, right? Like, okay, it's not like
it's the Feast of the Seven Fishes on Christmas Eve.
Yeah, I guess it's not traditional Italian, but like Italian American, right? Like,
we don't.
You know, I was like, you know what? That looks fucking yummy. So I'm gonna make that. Like,
Stromboli's good.
Morning or something.
It's excellent, but yeah, it's not a Christmas thing. There's a lot of Christmas cookies in the Italian cookies. A lot of those, but yeah.
So my family.
I know the panettone thing, but like panettone is just too dry for me.
My family's traditional Christmas dinner, Christmas Eve dinner, is Chinese food. Because my mom doesn't want.
Same thing for Japan. Actually, Japan they go crazy for like KFC and stuff at Christmas.
No. that really just marks you as Jewish, right?
What?
Because that's where all the Jewish families go. They go to the Chinese restaurants on Christmas Eve.
Oh, when I was a
Right?
little, it would be pizza for the kids and Chinese for my parents. But then we all started liking Chinese food pretty quickly. So we always just got Chinese food. Because my mom's like, we're going to family tomorrow. I don't want to cook and have a bunch of leftovers. And we all loved it. So now we just go to P.F. Chang's every year.
Oh, yeah. We do not. By the way, I'm hoping that my earbuds stay and that I don't have to just mute and unmute myself constantly, mute my speakers, because for some reason they didn't charge overnight. So the little battery pack must not be working in my little charger thing. So I only got 30% charge. But yeah. So, I mean, I'll tell you what we're having Christmas Eve. We're having lasagna. I'm like, really? You didn't fill me in on this before you did it? I mean, I would have cooked some beef. So yeah.
I find it really weird, those like Christmas traditions and stuff, because did you basically say no, that's not a thing with the whole KFC thing in Japan?
Oh, that's a thing.
All
All
over
over
like, that is
Korea,
definitely a thing.
Japan, the
Like,
Philippines, they love KFC.
Because I was very much under the impression, so I did a quick Google search. Apparently, it started in like the 1970s.
Yeah, when KFC
where,
appeared.
yeah, where it was a enterprising store manager, KFC store manager, basically went like, you know what, we're going to do a Kentucky for Christmas campaign thing, and that basically started off, and you know, yeah, it went kind of, well, not viral as such, but like, you know, people loved it, and it's been a thing since the 70s.
Well, when I was younger, I mean, KFC used to be pretty good. Kind of liked it. Now I'm just like, stay away.
Now it's like, I'll make it at home.
No, not like I don't
If
like
I have
fried
to.
chicken, because fried chicken is, it's good. But I don't know. KFC just not my thing.
That's fine.
I found it to be like they claim it's the best chicken you'll ever have, and it's not. It's not
no.
bad. It's a bit too salty for my taste.
It is very salty.
Like the spice mix isn't really that exceptional, right?
Yeah, I wouldn't be like, holy crap, the spice mix. I wish I could put, like, people go on about it, right? And it's just
It's
like,
very peppery, very salty. Yeah.
Oh, they have 11 herbs and spices. Oh,
yeah, I'm there with you, Sigline. Yeah, maybe once a year or whatever. But I find that the original recipe is just too greasy, right? I much prefer the extra crispy version. Extra crispy. And I really like when they had their rotisserie chicken, but they don't have it anymore. So,
see, if I am actually doing like if I'm gonna even attempt to do it, like, which is kind of rare, to be honest, because like, honestly, the amount of fucking oil that you have to use for it, Jesus fucking Christ, to deep fry something is just, it just makes a bit of noise. But like, if I'm doing it, like, I generally tend to use like crushed up cornflakes in the mix too. That's really fucking good. That works a fucking treat. That makes it like ultra crispy. Like, if you use crushed up cornflakes and you also use some like say potato starch or like cornstarch, something like that, like that takes it up a notch.
Cornstarch or potato starch, that is a secret piece of the deep fry recipe that nobody really talks about.
Yep. Cornstarch, potato starch, and also crushed up cornflakes. Fantastic fucking thing.
So one of the things that they do, like, you can, like you said, deep fry, right? Which a lot of oil, right? What they do in the South, in Southern fried, is there is a much less oil in a pan, and and you have to flip it, so it's not.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So look at Southern fried, and
it'll be like.
I'm thinking Nashville. I was thinking Nashville
Oh, that's hot.
That's like super hot, but they also use like they use like they dip it afterwards. They fry it and then they dip it in like natural hot sauce and all that kind of stuff, right?
So to go off your cornflake thing, I saw someone on a food challenge. They had to use flaming hot Cheetos to make a gourmet meal.
Oh, that would be good.
They used flaming hot Cheetos to make like a Nashville hot kind of breading.
Oh, that ain't bad.
Fried chicken.
Yeah.
The
the one piece that you need to do the southern fried, and you'd have to look for it. I would assume you would have it in the UK. You wouldn't. But there's actually like a metal mesh flat screen that you can lay on top of your frying pan. And as the oil pops, it gets cut.
I've seen that, and I know somebody who purchased it, and I attempted to use it at some point, and yeah, I don't think it works as well as people hope it works. Like it was stop. I guess it was stopping a bunch of it, but it wasn't stopping it all.
By the way, Nordor, I think what Soth was saying is they celebrate on the 24th in the evening, not on the 25th, right?
Yeah.
Christmas Day for movies and it's not for presents.
Oh no, Christmas Day where we are for presents.
No.
Presents and eating and watching football. I mean, that's what we do.
I get my presents a day earlier than everybody else.
Yeah, you get one present in the evening here.
Not earlier than us.
Well, 0-0
fuck.
On the 24th is right the flip into the 25th.
I'm missing 2 of my lights. I need to quickly go downstairs and get my other 2 lights.
By the way, yeah, this is one of those days where, we put our Christmas lights on all day long. So Erik needs to sit here on his phone and turn on his Christmas lights because that's the way he is.
Oh, by the way, I don't have a meeting today. I'm very sad.
Oh, that's terrible.
I know. I love meetings.
Now, I'm going to say the outside lights on the wraparound porch. Oh, the Christmas scene. Boom. World is right again. So, yes. My dad was very impressed with my Christmas lights this year. And he told me he was very impressed with what I did with the Christmas lights. And I said, I'm just kind of the designer. Okay, the implementers are my sons. They did an excellent job. Beautiful out there. Well done. So, we actually have a Christmas tree by our front door. Outside. Awesome. With twinkly lights. If you guys know what the twinkly lights are? They're way overpriced Christmas lights, right? Govi's coming out with similar versions, and looks like Hue is trying to get in on that too. But the twinklies are really well designed. So we have all outside.
As you can tell by the lack of any tree in my background,
well,
yeah,
I can
I'm
tell
not
by the fact that you look like you're frozen because you're probably the frozen elf. Okay, lack of tree. Okay, go on.
Yeah, I'm not really like putting shit up for Christmas.
I don't put a tree up.
Because I'm not home at Christmas, right?
But it's the everyday, right?
So what?
So, like, you guys, I got a secret lab desk, right? So my secret lab desk with all the LEDs on it are red and green. I can see the lights outside. And when I go upstairs in the loft, which is our main Christmas room, notice I say main Christmas room, we have 2 trees in that room with the fireplace and, all the candles all around and everything. We just go up there and sit and enjoy it, man. Sometimes quiet is good with all the lights on. By the way, I saw what my daughter did. By the way, picture a Christmas tree that has about a quarter of the bulbs around the bottom. Okay? That was 4 hours of work for my daughter. Just putting a quarter of the Christmas tree, just perfectly placing her bulbs, right? And she has like 3 or 4 colors, right? There's white, silver, there's gold, there's shiny gold, there's matte gold bulbs, right? All different sizes. And so she decorated the tree with everything all the way up rather than going and putting all the gold bulbs, then all the white bulbs, and then moving them around, right? No, it took her 4 hours just to do a third of it. She did it over a week. Then I'm sitting there going, well, why did you pick gold and silver and white, right? And then I was in there the other day, and she also picked the wrapping paper for her personal presents. Okay. And so she made her mother wrap in paper that matches the color scheme of her Christmas tree. This is her Christmas tree, right? She has one of the two upstairs. And it's the classic one, right? It doesn't have it, it just has perfect. And only her gifts go under her Christmas tree. Now, she's 13, right? Only her gifts go under her Christmas tree because it's a whole matching color scheme. Can you believe she did this?
It's fucking obsessive.
Everybody else's gifts go under the other Christmas tree. But also, everybody has their own wrapping paper this year. And by the way, she wrapped all the presents that weren't hers. So she wrapped, any of the presents that I bought, her mother bought, or, anything that wasn't for her brothers or anything. She wrapped them all, and everybody has their own style of Christmas paper this year. She really, if this continues, she's going to need a very tolerant husband, I think. There's a lot of anal retentive going on there. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I would tell her to knock it out first. But, I mean, if there's more than one tree and she's enjoying herself, okay, whatever.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I don't really mean that in a bad way, but I mean, it's like, whoa. I'm like, hey, I got 2 more presents for Mom. Can you wrap them for me today? She's like, yeah, I can. By the way, let me look here. By the way, this is a 13-year-old that would sleep until like noon, right? All right. So I got a text, okay, at 9 a.m. this morning. This is well before she gets up on a weekend. I can wrap Mom's gifts today if you give them to me, right? Like, she knows they needed wrapped, and I better get it to her so that she can wrap them. And then I had to go find the mom-specific wrapping paper. She's funny. But yeah. Austria celebrates on the 24th. See, you got that in there. There are some people in America that don't celebrate until, what is it, the second week of January 9th or something like that, for the Eastern Orthodox Catholics. Right? So they're the winners of the holiday season because they get everything on sale, right? All the wrapping paper, 50% off, everything. So smartest group in the country. By the way, I don't know the exact date. It's like, it moves. But yeah, we're kind of ready. Since, my mom decided that we're having lasagna, and Mark doesn't eat a lot of pasta. So not a lot of pasta. So I'm just going to go out and get barbecue and bring it over. I'm going to get a big thing of barbecue. All right. What else we got to talk about? Got a couple more minutes, right?
No, well, technically it's Eve time, but
it's Eve time.
There's nothing in Eve to talk about. Anyways, everyone on the road today is like doing 85 miles an hour. Fuck you guys. I am not going slow.
What is the speed limit where you are and they're going 85?
It depends, but see, there's the limit, and then there's the speed limit. Wink, wink. So the actual speed limit in a lot of places around Indy is 55 because it's a bypass, or
Gotcha.
It's the main interstate around the city,
yeah.
But everyone does 70. That's the speed limit.
Yeah, you get 5 miles outside the city zone here, and it's 70.
Well, yeah, once you go on the interstate, like where it's going off into yonder, yes, it's all 70. But when you're on the loop around the city, it's technically 55. Then my brother did 105 on. Oh.
Ah.
Yeah,
you know
he's got a court date.
You know what Sammy says, right?
What?
I can't drive 55.
Yeah.
Good old Sammy Hagar. That's a great tune. I love that tune.
My brother's moving out.
Your brother's moving out?
Yeah, he moved in with me to learn how to be on his own. And then he decided to get back with his crazy girlfriend that tried to get him stabbed. So he's moving in with her. I expect her to be pregnant in the next 3 months.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
We don't do no better living through chemistry?
Well, no, what's going to happen is they're going to be fighting. And she's going to be like, well, I need to make sure he has to stay around. And so she'll just make sure she gets pregnant.
Okay. Well, you know.
We'll trap him forever.
Maybe he wants to be trapped. You never know.
They're both now.
Hi, Dawn.
You're breaking
They're
up,
both
dear.
working at
Yeah, Dawn is gone.
and living in her. What? Okay, you guys talk now.
It's gone Ria now.
Yeah, Dawn is.
You got to be really careful with the pronunciation of that one.
Whoa. But yeah, Dawn, you're breaking up, so we're sorry.
Well, I got a little weird thing about Twitch here right now.
Okay.
So Twitch is telling me, hey, you got a new message from someone. Someone whispered you, right?
Mm-hmm.
I have a big red 1 in the top right corner. So this message is someone just whispering me my name. And I can't respond because, quote, this user has turned on block whispers from strangers in the privacy settings and must start a conversation with you first. Which they did. They whispered me. That's why I have a new whisper, right?
Yeah.
So I can't respond.
There you go.
So if you're the person that whispered me, I'm going to delete this message. So you better whisper me again. This time maybe during the show so I can respond.
I just want to see like Soth get like 30 whispers.
I'm back, by the way. Sorry about that.
Good.
Nice to
Whisper
have
me.
you back.
Whisper me.
Can I whisper you?
Yeah, whisper me.
Yeah, somebody else whispered me 5 times.
Oh, you too. Can you actually respond?
I think so.
Well,
yeah, I can respond. Apparently,
because I couldn't.
Oh, okay. I just asked, where do I know you from? So, you know. Have we covered Bard Ghost's absence? Like,
we have not. We waited for you to come back.
I am concerned about Bard Ghost and his disappearance. To be completely honest, because like it's ever since he went to that furry convention place, whatever it was, he's been checked out, and I'm not entirely certain whether it's benign or whether it may be something a little bit more serious.
Well, I mean, you had your theory, right?
I mean, I have 2 competing theories at the moment. Like, I have a theory where he's concerned. He's picked up something that he doesn't want, people to know about, like, I don't know, rabies or something, something like that, right? He needs to come on and basically just, set the record straight. But he needs to come on the fucking show.
Yeah, that's true. I really think
my other one.
I really think he's shacked up with a cute little bunny.
I mean, he's either shacked up with a cute little bunny, or that's not quite how furry events are. If you know what I mean.
Oh, Bard.
How do you know?
I mean, I don't think they're like vanilla.
You mean vanilla?
Like, if you know what I mean, when it comes to sort of sexual practices and stuff.
Are you speaking from experience?
I mean, I was hoping that you were going to like chime in, basically be like, yeah, that's normal kind of stuff.
What do you?
I mean, sorry, I have never been to a furry event.
Rabies or shacking up with a bunny?
I'm spitballing here, but like I imagine if you're dressing up in fucking huge costumes that cost a shitload of money, it's not your normal practice.
What's not your normal?
No, they're all.
Do you know what a furry is, by the way, Eric?
I know what I live in the city. Hold on. I live in the city where the U.S. Anthrocon is.
Okay.
I mean, they just take over downtown. Yeah.
I mean, it is a bit of, a lifestyle choice. And by lifestyle choice, I don't mean like, sleeping on the street lifestyle choice, because that's not a lifestyle choice. But like buying a fucking costume, putting it on, going to conventions, it's kind of a bit of a lifestyle choice, to some degree.
Well, no different than maybe, cosplay. I mean, yeah, but you could, when they're in town, I mean, you'd be walking, when I used to work downtown, you'd be walking around downtown at lunch, man. You can get your picture taken with anybody. Like, hey, can I take a selfie? Like, yeah, click. I mean, that's normal. That was normal. I mean, yeah, we loved it when they came downtown, because it was fun. It was like a fun week.
Okay. Well, I don't know. Maybe I'm being a little bit bigoted. Maybe I'm being a little bit narrow-minded. I don't know, Softhill. Like Eric, Softhill. Like, what do you guys think? Like,
well, then you're going to have to explain to me how you were being bigoted or narrow-minded. I don't know. I didn't get that vibe, man.
Oh, okay.
I would say they can do whatever they want as long as it doesn't affect me, right?
Well, yeah, I know. Well, it's no. They can do whatever they want so long as they're not harming people. Because if they're harming people, but it's not you, then you're fine with it. Is that how that works?
I mean, that depends who they are harming.
Furries aren't real people. We all know this.
I guess if they're harming fascists, then you're fine with it. Yeah.
Yeah. If there's a fight going on between furries and fursuits and literal Nazis, I know what side I'm gonna be on. Okay.
And it's gonna look fucking fantastic in the war films afterwards.
And then it's gonna get even weirder, because apparently there's furry Nazis as well.
Oh wow. What the fuck?
Yeah, that's just what?
That's another level that I wasn't even expecting.
Yeah.
I don't know. No, we like I said, where we're from, right? I mean, it's I guess it's not seen, at least in my impression in the U.S., as like weird or strange. Like, no different than doing cosplay at a Comic-Con.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I mean,
well,
let's see.
That really depends how far.
Anthrocon this year is July 4th through July 7th in the Steel City.
And Eric will let you stay at his house with you. Or for convention.
Eric never said that.
Nice.
Yeah, Eric said the GIF Hotel.
Wait,
Eric had a chance to deny it, but he didn't.
What? Deny what?
You had a chance to deny it, and you didn't deny it.
What did I not deny? I said,
stayed around your house.
No, I said no. I said no. Hey, everybody works from home here. We have no more bedrooms.
If you want to say no, but not use the term no, it's I'm disinclined to acquiesce to your request.
Oh yeah, okay, Jack Sparrow. All right. I just said I don't think so. But yes, I do. That is an awesome line in a movie. I do. It
is great, right?
That is because they say it and you're like, whoa,
what?
Whoa,
what?
Okay, let's. I don't remember in English class what you called like dissecting your sentence by the verbs and the nouns and all that shit, right? Mine goes to math. Like, let's Venn diagram that mother, right? But no, it's something else. Like, how do we decipher that sentence? Like, holy crap! But yeah. Oh, hey! I just looked and saw McLeod. Nice hat, dude. Nice.
Yeah. I like my background was going to be a bit better. The only issue is the lights and stuff that I got.
Yeah.
Need like AA batteries rather than actually plug in.
I see
like
you got
the little
now.
kind of like twinkly like lights and stuff. And I got a tiny little.
That's a live tree,
Christmas
right?
tree. It is a live tree. Yeah, it is. It's a little actual live tree. Like, yeah, I'm going to plant it, and maybe in a year's time, sort of put it into a pot again, and carry on.
Look at
you may see it next
year. I'm gonna right.
Yeah. Deckard Aura.
I'm not gonna do it, but I thought about doing it, like right above, like scratching out Sothrasil and putting Bah Humbug in there beside him, right? Because he's like, he has no Christmas tree, no Christmas decorations, no Santa hat, nothing. I mean,
nope. Well, it's not Christmas yet for him, so
Yeah, it's Christmas closer to him than it is to us. I mean, Jesus Christ. I mean, dude. Bah humbug.
Make an effort. Sothrasil, make an effort. I drove around all sorts of places to find the random shit.
Well, we'll probably go out.
There's there's some tinsel and stuff in the background. I don't think you can even see it. Like,
we have really to
viewable. Yeah, well, fuck it. I couldn't use green because we've got like a green screen backgroundy thing, and if I flick this to green, it just like starts to get keyed out, and like you just see the background behind the cameras on Push to Talk. Like, so, I had in mind to maybe change it to blue, but then it would cut out the nameplates of all of that stuff. So it's like, oh shit, not even blue. Yeah. A bit awkward.
Yeah,
But I know Sothrasil has something that he wants to talk about this week.
Do I?
Yes, you do.
Okay.
Because something launched this week that you've been talking about for a little bit. Maybe not on the show, but like other places.
Oh, you're talking about Tarkov Arena?
Yes, I'm talking about Tarkov Arena. Have you been enjoying it, Sothrasil?
Well, they definitely still have a lot of work in front of them. It is fun. It is kind of missing a bit of what makes Tarkov, right?
You mean sitting in a bush waiting for ages for somebody to come in and shoot you in the face?
you don't have that atmosphere, right? Because I mean, if you die, you just get in the next round, right?
Well, yeah, you die and you get into the next round. There was some issues, and I think I haven't played it yet. I've watched a few things. I've watched a little bit of it, like a few clips here and there. I'm apprehensive of actually playing it because it's sounding more and more like it's not exactly a game that's going to work too well if you're a solo in a group of 3 against a group of 3 that have like, you know, comms and all that jazz.
Yeah.
How can you possibly be solo in a group of 3?
Because you don't have comms, Dirk.
That is not entirely true.
You got proxy chat. Yeah, you got proxy voice.
No,
right?
that is also not true. If your character has headphones, then you can hear your teammates over those headphones.
Really?
Yes, really.
So long as the loadout that you choose has headphones.
Has headphones, yes.
That's not guaranteed, though.
That is not guaranteed, and that is something that you should consider when picking your loadout.
And the other thing is the loadouts. Like I kind of figured that there were like 3 real kind of big issues with it at the moment. Is it's the loadouts and the fact that some of the loadouts are insane compared to the others.
Yes.
It's the matching.
Yes.
And partially the comms issue.
Okay.
But,
see,
that's my read
I would
on it,
say
anyway.
matching and comms issue, those are kind of linked, right? What they could do is, have you played Rainbow Six Siege?
I think a game or 2, maybe, not much.
Okay, so the matchmaking in Siege works so that if you join with 3 out of 5 people in a group, right? It will try to match you with another group that has 3 people out of 5 in a group.
Okay.
Right? So Tarkov could do something similar, right? If you match up with like a full 5-man team, then the matchmaking should take that into consideration and match you against some other team that has that same advantage, right? And if your team consists entirely of solo players, then you should be matched against entire solo player teams.
But that would be cool. The only issue is the loadout issue after that. And part of that is down to the fact that like you're choosing your loadout after you've
Yes. Yes, that is definitely something that they should change. That's not something I would expect to change within a week, right? They need to change the entire gameplay flow, right?
Yeah.
So that you can choose your loadout before you even start matchmaking.
Because I think part of the issue as well with the fact that some of the loadouts are like way more powerful, as as Decadora has kind of pointed out, the AP-20 shotgun's like super strong. If the matchmaking knows the loadouts, then it can also help tailor the loadouts. But the other kind of thing is, you got all of these various different if then kind of statements and stuff like that the matchmaking is kind of trying to get its way through and kind of put people together correctly to give you a match that's challenging but not a cakewalk for one side sort of thing. The issue there is that like it could take a long time for you to match up like properly, depending on how many people, like how diverse the group, the community that's trying to play at that time is. That I'm thinking that maybe there may be sort of a kind of a reason for putting in some NPCs into there. For some of the and I don't mean for the higher level players. I'm more thinking for the players who are only just starting, but there's not that many people who are just starting, so they're still quite low in terms of rank, and it will take them a long time to get into games, that kind of thing. If people are heavily matched.
The whole idea of an MMR system, and you could argue what they're currently using isn't an MMR system, right?
Okay.
it's what they're currently using is a simplified version of ELO.
Yeah. Okay.
Right. If you win, you get 25 points. If you lose, you lose 25 points. Right.
Okay.
In ELO and in other MMRs, you actually take into consideration how strong the opponent is. Right.
Okay.
And depending on that,
I know you do. Yeah.
You get or you lose.
But
points.
if you are just starting out.
Yeah, but the thing is, if you're just starting out, then your skill is quite low. So you are supposed to have a low rank, right?
Yeah.
So that you
Of
get
course you're gonna
matched
have a low
against
rank.
other people with low skill.
But what I'm
Right.
saying is, what if there is not that many people at all with low skill? Like you know, like say for example, someone comes into like the classic example. If you don't come, if we're not talking about Arena, but we're talking about Tarkov, right? You come in as a new player to Tarkov, right? And you don't have somebody mentoring you. It can be a tough slog to figure out how to play. What's the best method of play? You know, what you feel comfortable to do, kind of thing, because it's, you know, you're coming in against a community that are, you know, have been playing this fairly heavily for a long period of time, right? It's very much like Eve, but the thing is, Tarkov doesn't really have newbie corps that help you out in terms of getting you to grips with the game and stuff like that. Yeah, you may find some friends. You may figure out that you have some friends who may play Tarkov, and like you can maybe piggyback like that, like I did with you and Dirk, right? And you know, one of my other friends from Eve, right? But like, it doesn't really have that innate kind of aspect in Tarkov, and definitely not so in Arena. So it's kind of like, how does a new player even? The thing is,
though, you have to acknowledge that the game was available for people who bought the special edition of Tarkov, right? Those are the people who can get into the game right now.
Yeah, I know, but I'm not talking about right now. I'm talking about, you know, further down the line.
Yeah. But we don't know if they have any intention of like adding in a tutorial or adding in a mode where you can fight AI, right?
Well, at the moment it's just ranked mode, right? But there is an unranked mode, right? There's a casual mode. It's not a mode that you can choose at the moment. At the moment it's just ranked.
Yeah, but see, they've done something similar with Tarkov, where they put buttons in for the future, and then during development they figure out, hey, we actually don't need this, right? That is something that happens, and it's like it also applies to Vanguard, right? These games are in kind of early development, and we need to acknowledge that a lot will change. To them.
Arena, yeah, but you can't say Tarkov is an early development. They've been developing it for a long time.
Tarkov, yes.
Yeah.
Arena,
not so much, but you know.
Yeah.
There's a lot that they can, you know, copy and paste from Tarkov to Arena. Not everything, obviously. Not a significant amount. Some of it, like a lot of the gunplay and everything like that, they can work with, and the visuals and stuff. Yeah.
Although they are actually using a new engine for the visuals.
They're trying to get away from.
No, it's still Unity. It's a different graphics engine within Unity that they're using, which is supposed to get better performance.
Depreciated Unity, so they don't have to pay the fees of the new Unity stuff.
No, it is Unity.
No, I know, but like what I'm saying is, like, if you go with the latest Unity stuff, then at some point there's a cutoff that you actually have to sort of start paying things in a different fashion than people previously had.
I mean, they have to pay for Unity anyway because
well, yeah, but what I'm saying
their
is,
sales are pretty good.
Because you know, when Unity did the whole sort of like, you know, I want to basically, you know, self-harm, like, and then they rolled that back essentially. But they've rolled it back, but then they've kind of done like but you know, we'll be changing this if you're running the latest Unity at, you know, at this particular date. It's the sort of our income models are going to change, etc., etc. But it only happens if you're running the latest version, but you can run the older versions if you don't want to, etc., etc. And there's so many caveats to it that they just made it like super convoluted, so that people can't just go, oh look, you're trying to rinse your developers out, like.
Yeah, I don't think that applies to Tarkov because again, they have to pay royalties to Unity anyway.
Yeah.
Because their sales are high enough for that. So
they definitely are.
Why not go for the latest version, right?
I guess, yeah. If they're fine with the funding model that Unity want to do with the latest version, then so be it, right? Like, but it doesn't feel like Unity is like holding people's feet to the flames anymore. So
it's also it's in Unity's best interest to be nice to Tarkov because it's one of the poster child games made on Unity, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely. I can't think of a larger game running on Unity as such.
But yeah, they are definitely they are working. They are actively balancing. Like in the few days that Arena has been up, there have already been 2 balancing patches that actually have addressed some of the complaints by the community. So
fantastic.
Yeah,
and Span UK is saying that there's apparently going to be an unranked mode and a mode where people go against AI. So
see,
the AI one
that,
maybe the AI one might be good for like new players to coming in to sort of like get a bit more experience in the game mode and all that.
Yeah. So if they do that, I wonder if they will limit how much you can unlock going simply against the AI.
I can see the AI thing being something that helps newer players to Tarkov before they go into ranked mode, right? And that sort of thing.
It's also I gotta be honest here. When I played Siege, the first match I would play, I would just go terrorist hunt, simply to get back into the field, right?
Yeah.
Even if I was playing every day, which I did for a time, I would still go terrorist hunt as my first game.
Okay. Swarm mode sort of thing, yeah.
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 It's fun, but in Siege you can't actually unlock anything in terrorist hunt, right? You get a bit of XP, but it is tiny compared to doing unranked or ranked mode. So I'm wondering if they will do the same for Arena. There should definitely be an incentive to go ranked. And for all the people out there that are like, oh yeah, I don't like playing ranked. I don't like the pressure. Forget about what rank you are, right? Ranked as itself as a game mode, no matter what game it is a better experience for you because people don't want to wreck their ranking, right? So they won't do stuff that will make your game bad, right? They won't leave after one round because quote unquote the others are just idiots. They won't shit up comms and shit like that, right? Because it's ranked, rank matters to a lot of people, right? The other thing is usually you get way better progression if you play ranked. And on top of that, because it is ranked, you go up against people after a while that are kind of on the same skill level as you, right? So that gives you a better experience because you win some games, you lose some games, right?
Yeah. I think the thing is a lot of people. There's a lot of games that kind of coddle new players and coddle players in general as like oh you're a demigod, right? And you can literally go and kill like 1,000 different people, etc before dying. Very much in a sort of hero-esque sort of style and people, I think a lot of players and a lot of people kind of get this innate desire not to fail even at all, and so it's like ranked just basically looks like just a mode that people will that they're gonna face plant a wall constantly.
See, what I want to see more in Arena is more game modes.
Yeah, I'm not saying that that's bad. Actually, I'm saying that the fact that people don't want to sort of fail upwards or have this aversion to failure is a bad thing. Like it's not a bad thing to fail. Like a failure point, like when you don't win a match or when you end up being killed, even fairly early on, there's a lot to take back from that to say, what can I do better, right? And that's growth. That's growth as a player, as a gamer, as a person.
And you also unlock more things even if you lose, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You still work towards unlocking the next loadouts.
Yeah. I'm amazed that Dirk has not had a single kind of strong point or critique in anything that we have said so far. So I'm thinking that his mic is broken.
Dude, I'm just like kind of exhausted today.
Oh, right.
he has
I did wonder.
battled against the Christmas craze.
I mean, I was battling
that
the
was
Christmas craze too, dude. But like, I did go a little later than you, so
Yeah,
I was still about to go out when you were at the butcher's. So yeah.
Yeah, I was picking stuff up from pre-order stuff this morning, and then went to the cinema, saw the new Wonka film, which was quite good.
It was good.
Timothy.
That's
Chalamet.
a lot of fun. Yeah. And then supermarket stuff for a couple bits that I forgot after the cinema, and I still couldn't get some of the stuff I was after.
So little Timmy didn't do a creepy Wonka, then, or was he?
No,
it was at the
was,
end, or what? Like
it was pretty wholesome overall.
Okay. Cool.
Like it's a good film. I'd definitely say if people are kind of thinking about it and aren't sure if they want to do it or not, it's worth a watch.
What was the? Yeah, because there's been a spate of like Wonka, Willy Wonka sort of movies that have been kind of almost weird / like pretty crazy, right?
Yeah, I mean the thing about this one is that it's a bit more of an origin story rather than him being already set up with the factory and everything. He doesn't actually start working on the factory until kind of
near the endish.
So yeah, it's good. It's interesting.
Oh, cool.
Like I say, I don't want to spoil it too much, but if you're kind of thinking about it out there, and you're a bit on the fence and not sure, I think it's definitely well worth doing. And Starscream. I think it was Tim Burton who did the last Wonka.
Yeah, that was
with Johnny Depp.
Yeah. The Gene Wilder one, even though is a little less kind of weird, then like a lot less weird than the Tim Burton one, does have its fair share of really dodgy shit going on. Especially the chicken being decapitated in the background at one point. Yes, you heard that right. That's a thing in a children's movie, apparently.
Hey, look,
is it a children's movie?
You've got to get them started out young.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Is it?
I mean, we've got to rip the Band-Aid off, little Timmy. You've got to be watching The Exorcist today. That's just cruel. That is literally just cruel. Oh, fucking hell. Derek, have you actually played some of Arena yet?
I played a little bit. Yeah.
Played a little bit. No, okay, cool.
I've
I've yet to, even though I was surprised that I actually had access to it.
Yeah, I mean, it's that bit where I think they managed to get through a lot of the people who have that Edge of Darkness access pretty quickly. So yeah, I mean, it's kind of fun for, quick play, kind of short bursts more than anything else. Definitely not quite as crazy as, a full-length Shoreline run or anything in the main game. So, it's definitely early on, like Soth was saying, but I think it's got a lot of fun, drop in, drop out potential.
Fantastic. One of the other things that we saw, and we might actually get into Eve talk. One of the other things that we saw, which that kind of came out a little bit this week, was some stuff about not Valkyrie, about Vanguard.
Yes, there's a development roadmap going on.
Yes, there is sort of a roadmap.
I mean, there's no sort of about it. There's a roadmap for like the next 6 months of releases or updates and testing. Like,
yeah,
they've laid it out month by month. It's pretty roadmappy, which
pretty
is
roadmappy.
Yeah.
It's something that I'm very glad to see from CCP for once, right? Like, CCP have had a history for the last kind of 5 or 6 years of no roadmaps. No roadmaps. We won't guarantee anything. We're not going to talk about this.
We're not going to get like, we're not going to hammer down any particular like promises and stuff. And to be fair, when I look at this and I see like literally Vanguard's 6-month roadmap, I'm there thinking to myself like, yeah, but I'm not going to hold them to it really, like, because I know game development, product development is like can be a real bitch.
I mean, it does all look fairly deliverable, right? Like they're only talking about minor patches and feature update for the first 5 months, with a major feature update in June. So it's not as if it's a whole thing where they're promising massive expansion of the game in like 2 months or whatever.
Yeah, it
seems pretty reasonable.
The nice thing that I like is they're having play tests every month. It's not long play tests. Like, I imagine the January play test is the only one that's down on an actual date, being the 25th to the 29th of Jan. But like, I imagine the play tests are going to be of similar length in the corresponding months, right?
It wouldn't surprise me to see like, pretty regular long weekend kind of testing. Yeah.
What I don't get is that they are adding the quote unquote mining this early. Right?
That is so weird, right? Like, here's your FPS game. Have some mining with it.
Yeah, most of all, like, hey, here's your FPS game. We have a single gun, but like, one of our priorities is mining. I know it's kind of to link up with Eve, but come on, guys, like, nail down the FPS part first, right? And then we can think about
like supporting gameplay that supports the other FPS stuff, and then maybe somewhere around that.
Yeah, like you don't need a fucking market system and currency setup right now. Yes, you should build it. Like, you should build the game with the intention of getting to that point. But like, just give us some more guns, right? Like two or three guns.
I get they want to broaden out the sort of like the activities that you can do, but like, it's an FPS game,
So I will say, I would agree with Soth. I am a bit disappointed that they've gone with mining first rather than like the weapon modification, or even just adding a couple more guns to the game, and maybe like a different drop suit where you get a bit more armor or shields and a little bit less health or something. I don't know. But yeah, it's an FPS game. You've got to give us something a bit more FPS-y at some point.
Like, if they want us to do something else, while FPSing, then you can kind of do things like, say, cutting, but basically what is essentially like puzzle gameplay to get into certain areas to get certain things, right? Like, and that works perfectly fine for that. That would work perfectly fine even for the map that we had. The I don't remember the fucking ship name, the name of the ship, the Bowhead, right? There could be compartments.
Redline, there's already crafting.
There's already crafting, but like the Bowhead could still have like secure compartments that you have to figure out a way of actually getting into it, right? And that could be that could require certain things. That could require you crafting certain things, like a cutting torch in some way, shape, or form with the materials that you find around. And
you got to build yourself a
crafting torch to literally cut through a bulkhead. And that's that would be the equivalent of like mining, right? Because you're just using a new tool to against a certain thing for a certain period of time in order to get something that you need to extract with, right? And I imagine that's basically what the mining is going to be. Is like, you go into a map that has ore deposits of this, that, and the other. You go and you use a tool on it for a certain period of time. You extract that material, and then you go to an exit, right? Like,
I mean, I presume that there's some level of there might be contracts that will require you to get certain resources to complete it or whatever. And I will say there is something coming in March that isn't exactly minor, I wouldn't think. It's probably minor in the sense of how large of a change it is, but something that people were really seriously asking for during this most recent playtest and afterwards as well is whenever you were completing contracts in the First Strike playtest, that was specifically contributing towards corruption of systems in the faction warfare insurgency system.
We do need
in
March.
They're bringing in suppression as well.
I'm glad.
That's gonna kind of balance that out. And so that is worth mentioning as well. You're not gonna have to wait ages to be able to pick a side, as it were. Oh my god! Escort a mission of a living Fido to a safe evac. That's hilarious. I like that idea.
There's some things in Eve that their attributes are a bit weird, and it'll be hilarious if they kept with those attributes in Vanguard, right? Like, say for example, the have you seen the attributes for coal or for carbon? I noticed this on on Reddit the other day.
No.
I'm gonna need to find it, but like a unit of carbon in Eve has surprisingly unique non-carbon properties.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Specifically in terms of its mass, its weight.
Well,
right?
Are you telling me
size.
CCP fucked up the mass of?
So this is thank you very much, Salt Knight, for putting this on Reddit for me to see. But the most basic and important element in the universe, a unit of carbon, has a mass of 4,400 kgs for 0.01 cubic meters of carbon.
What the fuck?
I can imagine.
Okay.
Like, find and extract 1 unit of carbon as like,
And you're there going,
a contract. You find the carbon, you can't move it at all.
This clone should not be able to pick this up ever. Really.
You pick it up and you like move like at a snail's pace afterwards.
But I mean, there's a few things like that, right? Like cybernetic implants. Here's a cybernetic implant that takes a cubic meter of space.
Jesus Christ.
I mean,
who's putting that in their head?
You can go ahead and see like a contract to retrieve this particular cybernetic implant from the wreckage, and
yeah,
you get there and it's a fucking big ass crate.
Yeah. I would love it if those were sort of like Easter egg kind of contracts that they put in every so often. That would be amazing. Just ludicrous stuff. But yeah, like the Vanguard roadmap actually legitimately not that bad.
And
a lot of it's just balancing bug fixes and stuff like that, right? So
as well, we should note that as part of their playtesting next year, through this first 6 months, each playtest is going to have chip skins as participation rewards, as well as one of the things that they were doing during this most recent session was each day they were releasing kind of leaderboards. Who had completed the most number of contracts, who'd died the most, who'd killed the most, you know. And apparently, according to this roadmap, they are going to be rewarding people in Plex for leaderboard positions.
Oh, Jintan's going to get a nice bunch initially.
So
I saw his name. I saw his name on the leaderboards. Like,
yeah, Jin played a lot.
He did play a lot. I was going. You know, when you kind of look and you kind of go like, "Oh, I hope my main name doesn't appear on this particular leaderboard." I'm like, "Oh, thank God it doesn't." All right, fair enough. But like, yeah, going through the leaderboards, I was like, "Oh, Jintan's like been playing a fair amount, clearly." But there's I don't know if you knew this, Dirk, but there was a bit of a bug when it came to melee.
Yes, I heard about this.
There seems to be one person who seems to have known about it or probably figured it out initially about this bug, because like the melee PvP kills like are just like there's one person who's just like.
I mean, they do like 150 damage or something.
Yeah. It's like it's 2 hits and you can kill somebody, but like there was a bug basically that meant that you could basically almost double hit somebody in one go.
Oh right, okay.
Yeah.
Well then, I hope they fix that.
Yeah, I do hope they fix that. There was a video and there was a thing posted in the Discord kind of bug forum feature thing that showcased it. So I'm fairly certain they know about it.
And we should probably, while we're on the topic of that, just point out to anybody who is listening and was part of the Vanguard playtest in December, there is an exclusive capsule skin that you can claim from the New Eden store.
I need to get that, yeah.
Up until January 5th. So, like, yeah, if you were playing and you haven't claimed your reward for playing yet, go ahead, make sure you get that done, because you, yeah, I mean, it's not much, but it's a little something.
It's not much, but it's good. It's good work. So, we want to talk about fails. We want to talk about CCP fails.
Bro, what? Really? Did you just ask
I'm
that
not
question?
sure I'm at liberty to talk about them.
Yeah.
No, not those particular fails that you know specifically about, Dirk and Soth, but like more along the lines of the statistics that people got at the end of the year.
Oh yeah.
Oh dear.
I wouldn't say so much failed as
I don't know.
There are some intricacies to them.
So some of mine were a bit like, really? You wanna present that as like a thing? Like
There's a couple bits that are a bit bizarre. To put it that way.
Let me start with one here. There was this one statistic of how much experience you either gained or extracted in the year, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
If that number was 0, you were only in the top 99%, which meant that 1% of players managed to gain or extract less than 0 XP.
Yeah,
right?
I'm sure there'll be negative numbers. There's definitely that 1% that was in negatives for sure.
Yes, but how exactly did they achieve that, right? You no longer lose skill points by
extraction.
Because
it
was part of the statistic.
Yeah, because it was extracted. So if you extract it, you're not in a negative. You're still in a positive because it's gained and extracted and added together.
So players must have lost skill points in some other way, right?
But there's not a mechanism for you to automatically lose skill points.
You don't, because you don't lose skill points when you die in a T3 cruiser anymore.
No,
like you used to, because that was one way that you used to, and obviously, because
or with an upgraded clone,
way back in day,
clone. way back in the old Dark Ages,
right?
Fucking Apple cloak, great.
Dirk, didn't you mention that there was some weird thing about ghost training that they did that might be affecting this?
Maybe. I think they introduced a bug fix at the start of the year, sort of, for ghost training. So that might be it. It's possible that CCP yanked some skill points from some people somewhere along the line, and therefore they had a negative balance, and those people, those very small number of people, account for that bottom 1%. But you've got to remember
it doesn't necessarily have to be 1%, right? It could be even less.
Yeah, it just has to be.
They're just rounding the numbers up and down, right, to the nearest significant figure.
I mean, one thing that I thought was really funny was the ISK flow part.
Oh, my issue wasn't the ISK flow part.
Right. So the thing about the ISK flow thing is that it gives you the total income, and then it gives you the amount that you spent, and then it provides you with the net difference, which is obviously either going to be positive or negative if you made more money than you spent or spent more money than you made.
Yeah.
If you have a negative ISK balance as part of that statistic, CCP will automatically put you in the bottom 99%.
No,
in the same way as they did for the.
So I've got one of my alts that I got the thing from is net income of this year was 0. ISK left your wallet was 256 million, and that put me in the top 97%.
Oh right, so they are actually measuring. Okay, I thought if you ended up with a negative value, you just automatically got dumped into that top 99% statistic.
Apparently not. Apparently people have lost a lot more than I lost from a negative standpoint.
I mean, 250 mil ain't that much.
No, it really isn't. But then again, this is on an alt of mine that's only spent 14 hours in EVE Online the entire year.
So you were online more than me.
I was in the top 29% of players, thank you very much, of playtime.
I was in the top 11%.
That was the gripe that I had. Really? You want to say that to people? I spent 14 hours in EVE Online over the entire year, and apparently I'm the top one in the top 30, top third.
See,
that's
the problem
really
is if they would only go for active players, then how do we define active?
Not playing 14 hours.
How much do I have to log in to be considered active?
Yeah, no, that is a good point.
I personally would say we should consider people active if they log in more than 5 minutes in a year.
Yes.
Everything else is just someone just checking something, or maybe just leaving a corp or something to go on a hiatus. If you log in for more than 5 minutes, then you actually played the game, right?
I would say maybe log in more than 5 minutes 4 times a year. Because like there could be those periods where you log in for about half an hour to kind of get something sorted, and then just
but
not play for like 6-9 months, sort of thing.
No,
right?
if you log in to get something sorted, you are active because you are clearly capable of doing so, right?
I mean, yeah.
But how many accounts are there of people who don't even think about EVE anymore?
I mean, a good proportion of those 14 hours that my ult was logged into was basically being a camera for like a fight. And that was it for INN, I believe. Like,
what I think they should also do is include Thunderdome statistics.
That could be useful, yeah.
That's probably something I should tell Zealous.
I would recommend you say that to Zealous at some point. Yeah, that would be a good one.
I'm not sure if they are actually collecting stats on Thunderdome, but
it'd be like we'd have to actually plug that in.
the way it's the way it runs, that shouldn't be a big issue.
Yeah. Would you combine that stats with the other stats, or would you put that separately?
Well, a lot of the stats don't really apply to Thunderdome, right? Is doesn't matter there because you can just spawn everything. Sure, game time matters. You could also include a stat of how many matches you have been part of that ran through the tool. That would be a cool stat. Or something like total amount of damage you caused.
Oh, that would be cool.
Yeah, that would be a cool stat.
Total amount, or amazingly enough, maybe amount of, like, say, in the same way the amount of like SP that you both acquired and extracted, right, added together. You could also do the amount of damage and the amount of healing that you've done added together. Because there are people out there who literally are like just fly logi ships in PvP. So
yeah, we know someone who does.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, those. I mean, how many people are we talking about here, right? Anger Games alone is 1,000 players.
Yeah.
Right, now add the AT to that, which is probably more like 1,500 players, maybe 2,000.
I think so. Trying to find the other thing. The other kind of like crazy thing that happened this week.
We actually had someone on the INN Discord who linked his stats, and he was in the 1% of people for mining.
Oh.
With over 50 characters.
Oh yes, I reckon I remember that. And that was
we're pretty sure he is the 1%.
And that was
that was my reaction. Like, dude, you are not in the 1%. You are the 1%.
That was nuts. Like, and he was just like, then that's just one character. Yeah, that was insane. By the way, Dirk, as per the conversation that happened in Bad Posters, in the politics channel in Bad Posters, particularly. You guys forced me to purchase some more bacon and sausages.
Yeah.
Arsehole.
Oh no, what a terrible shame. Now you will have more pigs and blankets.
Because really thinking about it, like, yeah, that's probably the highlight of the meal.
Like I say, I have a tray to share with everybody for Christmas dinner.
Fucking have a tray of them.
And then I have a tray for when I get peckish Christmas evening. And then I have a tray for Boxing Day.
Dirk likes pigs and blankets. It's, this is what I've learned.
Pork in pork. What's not to like?
What's not to love? Yeah, exactly.
Pork and pork rocks.
Mm-hmm. I think the only one of the other things that happened that actually got international attention was the fucking volcano.
Oh yeah.
The fissure. Sorry. The Icelandic fissure.
Yeah, I saw some like attention-grabbing headlines, so I didn't click on it because fuck that shit. What happened to the Blue Lagoon?
I think it's still there. I mean, if it wasn't there,
I figured the headlines are bullshit. Because the fissure was right next to it, right?
It was literally like 2 kilometers.
It was only like 2 or 3 kilometers, yeah.
Yeah, 2.5 kilometers from it, something like that. Yeah, something like that. It was real fucking close. Like it was.
I'm really glad I didn't click on that clickbait bullshit.
Oh, did they literally say that it got like?
Oh yeah, they were like the fissure changed the Blue Lagoon forever.
Oh right. No, I think it's fine. Like I'm fairly certain it's fine. It was going the other direction, I believe. Honestly, if it got to the Blue Lagoon, it would have taken out a nuclear, not a nuclear power. What the fuck am I talking about? Geothermal power plant that was between it and the fissure. So we would have heard about that. We would have definitely heard about that.
Would we? I mean, for a short time, they would have gotten a lot of electricity.
A lot of electricity and some really fucking hot water. Apparently they have like, I mean, I've heard this. I haven't it's not like I've like fucking confirmed it or anything, but like Iceland have underheated pavements.
In some areas, yes.
In some areas, okay, yeah. So it's not bullshit. I wasn't being trolled by somebody.
Yeah, no, that one's not bullshit. It helps to keep the ice off.
Yeah, well, I imagine so. Yeah. Yeah, I was just like,
heating kind of does that. Yeah,
heating does do that. But I was just there, kind of going like, damn, they have so much extra heating that they can underheat their pavements. Like, that's
well, I don't think they're actually heating it. I think they're just diverting waste, quote unquote, wastewater, right? Water that has already gone through turbines.
Okay.
That is now no longer hot enough to do anything there, but still warm enough to heat up a road so it doesn't
to melt ice. Yeah. That's cool though. That's really cool. There were some amazing shots of that. There were some amazing shots of those fissures. Like especially you guys saw the helicopter shots, like
oh yeah,
they were insane. They were absolutely insane. And the fact that you could see it from, I mean, what is it? Overload fucking posted something saying that he could see it from his apartment. It was like fucking crazy.
Yeah, Ithaca posted a few cool pictures.
And yeah, the fissure was like something. It was about 45 kilometers away from Iceland, and you're seeing these pictures from Iceland coming out at like 1 a.m. and the sky is just red. What did I say?
Iceland. You said 45 kilometers from Iceland.
Well, I told you all I was exhausted when I joined the show, so here we have the proof.
This is what happens. It's fine. It's fine, Dirk. It's Christmas. We can forgive.
But yeah, these pictures were just like fucking the Eye of Sauron is looking over the country. Like,
it looked crazy, right?
Mental.
That brings up a question for me. How does Iceland actually treat lights at night? So, for context, here in Germany, street lights actually get turned off at a certain hour, so that you don't have so much light pollution. Do they do that in Iceland too?
No.
In the UK, dusk to dawn.
In the UK, I don't think we do. Like in the UK, we go from from dusk till dawn.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I had a point where like I didn't have like full beams on my car, and like I could literally drive from a certain place to a certain place near London with only side lights because it was light enough to be able to see everything.
Wow.
I would not recommend it. I don't think it's something that you should do.
That's not like that where I grew up. There's no street lights out here, man. None. Zero.
You light your way, or you find a tree very quickly.
So in Germany, apparently it's between midnight and 5 o'clock. They turn off the lights.
Oh shit!
Depending on what village, it might be longer because they can decide for themselves.
See, I think part of it is part of like the lights being left on in the UK, or at least around London, sort of thing. Well, major cities, especially major cities and major towns, most towns, that kind of thing. It is on account. It is sort of more of a like a civility sort of thing. Like you don't want to create dark areas for people who to get preyed upon. If you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's the general sort of idea as such.
Ooh, excuse me. Sorry.
But from the sound of it, it doesn't seem to be that much of an issue over in Germany.
Well, I mean, the main reason why we turn them off is to save energy, right?
Yeah.
Reducing like light pollution is just a pleasant side effect.
Get some LEDs, man. Right?
We actually, most of our streetlights are LEDs now. Like when one of them blows out, they put an LED one in.
Yeah. How are you really saving?
I mean, that's one of the things that I like about, like, when I drive around and I see people with like crazy light shows on their houses, like for Christmas, is like previously I'd be like, they got a fucking electricity bill that they're just their electricity meters like going like fucking crazy, right? But now, because I'm fairly certain that most of them are LEDs, like, I mean, that's equivalent to like 2 or 3 small fucking bulbs, like regular bulbs these days, like, so it's fine. Like, I look at it and I go, that's fine. It's all LEDs. It's like super low wattage and everything. So
I will tell you, back in the day when we didn't have LEDs outside and we decorated without LEDs, you could really tell. I think the I forget the actual cost, but when I did an estimate, right, of the miniature lights versus the LED lights, right? Basically, I could turn on the LED lights 100% of the time the month of December, for the cost of just running the regular lights for like 8 hours a night. Like, it was a third of the cost or something like that. And I've got to switch because my power just ran out. I'm gonna mute.
That's probably what was. Yeah, that's probably what I heard. Yeah. Dawn, you haven't said fucking anything. Like, come on. Or she's probably AFK. She's probably gone. Like, typical. She doesn't even. It annoys me. Yeah.
He's like, oh yeah, I have a meeting to go to, so I will just sit here and be quiet.
Can you hear me?
Now we can hear you.
Yeah, we can hear you now, yeah.
I've been sitting there wrapping presents for the last hour.
Ah, yes.
Listening to you drone on about MMR ratings and shit.
Was there anything that's caught your attention in Eve this week, Dawn?
In Eve?
Or what has been taking? What have you been enjoying this week? Put it this way, because we're Eve adjacent kind of show. We talk about everything as well as Eve.
As I said, my friend's been forcing me to learn Warhammer 40k, and so I have to face Gennel in tonight probably. My demons, his custodies.
So the positive thing about you learning 40k, right, Dawn, is that if you're ever in a room, hypothetically, if this does happen, if you're in a room with Henry Cavill, you got a lot to speak about.
I know,
right?
I was like, that's the only reason why I'm willing to learn this game. And he's got such a nice. He's got this. It's not like creepy. He's just got a very friendly smile. Like, it always seems like genuine. I would let him hold me all night.
I would let him hold me all night.
All right. You know what I mean? So, so I've been learning that. I'm not very good at it. I play X-Wing normally for Star Wars, and I'm pretty good at that. But I think it's just because, like, comparatively, it's a much simpler game. It's still got a lot going on in the game, but Warhammer is much more complicated.
Squadrons? Not squadrons.
No, just X-Wing.
Oh, just X-Wing. Okay.
Like with just the individual ships.
Oh, okay.
And then
I know that I know that Brisk likes squadrons, or at least he played a good amount of squadrons.
Well, what's fun
back in the day,
I'm being forced to learn Warhammer, and the same week that I start being forced to learn it, Merkel Chen is like talking about Warhammer lore on Rampage. I was like, the fuck, are you copying me? Fuck off.
It's like, no, I'm allowed to learn whichever fucking game I want to learn. Like,
yeah. The other thing that I've done this week is I've been seeing a ton of Baldur's Gate 3 clips on YouTube. So, like, not by choice, they just keep coming up. So I'm like, okay, it looks interesting. I guess I'll get it.
Well, you got me.
I look forward to Dawn coming, to subsequent shows and talking about the strange sort of love triangles that she gets into.
100%. First playthrough is going to be into Starion. I'm a nerd.
Because even Soth was talking about that stuff, like, when he was playing.
Well, you know what's really
hilarious?
I'm so predictable. But I was like, okay, first playthrough, I'm going to make the character I want. And I was like, well, I like how the high elf. Okay, great. A female. And then I'm like, well, I really like rogues. So I made her a rogue. And then I was like, I really like the color purple. So, like, everything's purple accent. Like, she's got purple highlights, purple eyes, a tattoo that's like light purple on her face. Like, everything's got like purple in it, right? And then after I made my character, I looked at myself and said, damn it. Because it is exactly what I made for my first D&D 5e campaign I ever played. I made a high elf and her family crest had purple in it. Like, I hate myself. Why am I so predictable? But
yeah,
I look hot as
I mean, so the thing about Baldur's Gate 3 is there are basically 3 ways of playing it, right? First one is you make your own custom character. And I would say that's definitely the best way for a first playthrough. And even the fact that we're talking about a first playthrough for a game that takes you over 100 hours for that is a bit crazy. The second one you can do is the Dark Urge, which you can still do your own character, but you have a unique background story, right? And the background story keeps coming up and keeps affecting your character and your party. And the third one is you can actually play as any of your companions.
Yeah, I saw that one selecting. I was like, oh, I didn't even think that was possible, but okay.
Yeah, so you could play as Astarion, for example.
Nah. I'd rather be romancing him.
I mean, you could play as Gale and then romance Astarion.
It's true, but I look hot as hell. So
okay,
I love my character's facial expressions when I do stuff. I'm just like, no, screw you.
The mocap is definitely pretty good.
I gotta say, Mortal Kombat did motion capture way better, but that's because it's a smaller game, so they didn't have to sacrifice on some things.
Oh yeah, like we gotta acknowledge how many scenes are in this game, right? How many permutations?
Right,
it's
so
a bit crazy.
They couldn't do everything perfectly, but if you want a game that has some good motion capture, like facial capture, Mortal Kombat 1 storyline, like the faces are like creepily good. Like there's points where I'm like, this doesn't look fake. Now that I've seen it a bunch, and I know it's fake, obviously, but like you're looking at it and then like you see the voice actor that they're using, and I'm like, oh my god, that's them in the game. Like it's really like there's certain scenes that are just really good.
Have you played LA Noire?
No.
The facial expressions in that are pretty good too.
Mm-hmm.
Like especially for a game from 2011, right?
Yeah. So we'll be playing Baldur's Gate this weekend, and then Christmas Day, since my family are driving down to Texas to see my sister and her family, and I'm not going. I'm gonna be spending all Christmas Day basically playing Warhammer and Baldur's Gate back and forth.
Nice.
I'd stream Baldur's Gate, but the problem is I'm not very good at the game, so I keep having to restart when I mess things up.
Don't restart. No, roll with it.
Just roll with.
Yeah. So here's the thing. They recently added a huge patch that added a new difficulty mode. It's called Honor mode. It's basically Iron. What's it called again in other games?
Iron mode. Like no, I know it's.
Is it Iron mode
or something?
It's
so the thing is, you cannot reload, right?
No, I know how that one works. The thing is,
and
it's
wait. Because of that, a lot of players are now forced to stick with their decisions, and because they're forced to do that, they now found these like little things left and right in the game, that are there for situations where you just fuck up in a major way, right? And if you don't fuck up because you keep reloading when you do so, then you never see these things.
Honestly, if
I want to do what I want to do.
I mean, I get that, Dawn, but like honestly, there are games out there that are so on rails that like, you know, if you don't complete the mission or complete the objective, you know, there is no like carry on with the game. There is just you reload and that's it, right? You know, like it's that, you know, it's on rails in that regard. playing a game that where you can fuck up and carry on playing the game, like, I mean, you should embrace that, if anything.
Yeah, but when I died 4 times, like, in the beginning, and I mean, like, maybe the 3rd or 4th fight, because I'm still getting used to, like, the fight mechanic, I would have probably cried if I had to remake my character and go through the beginning scenes again and again and again because of that. So
yeah, like we are not advocating
for
never reloading, right? What we are saying is don't feel like you have to reload because you rolled a 14 but you needed a 15.
Yeah, well,
right?
if I didn't reload one time, Gale was going to be sucked off into the darkness. So I failed getting Gale out of the seal.
Sounds like a good time.
Did you give him a high five?
No, I was trying to get out, and I kept rolling poorly because I'm a rogue, so I have no strength.
I remember seeing that, and I was like, "That's fantastic."
Okay, here's a little tip for you. When you do stuff like that, you don't have to use your main character for those scenes.
I know, but the other Asterion has the same stats because he's also a rogue, and I only had Shadowheart. And she wasn't really any better, so, you know. Because Lazarel, I hadn't rescued her yet. Or Lazeriel, or however you say her name.
Lizelle?
Yeah, Lizelle. So I only had so many options there. And I was like one off.
Yeah, that's fine. But if you're in a conversation and you try to persuade someone of something and you fail the role, just go with it.
Yeah,
right?
I failed my animal handling check on the squirrel. So I was like, I guess I'll kick it.
You monster.
Why? I tried to be friendly to the squirrel and I failed, so I killed it.
You know what happens when you play Dark Urge in that scene?
No.
Well, let's just say you don't have a choice what happens.
But yeah, well, I'm gonna let some things go as is. It's just there's certain things I'm like, no, I really want this to happen, so I'm just doing what I want to do. The hard part is I don't really like playing solo games anymore because I get bored. But because so far I've been able to sit there and like talk with people about what's going on, like if something funny happens. But I get really bored playing solo games, so that's the only reason why I didn't pick it up immediately. I just like interacting with people because I'm lonely. I used to play solo RPGs all the time. But now I just play dinosaurs.
I hope Barguest sees this.
What?
You should ping him. There we go.
There we go.
You said Bargos?
Yeah.
No. Bargest. That Bargest Ezo. That's his name now.
Yeah. Anyway, guys, we have there's some slightly different and interesting going on. If you are going to be tuning in to watch the Meta Show at the normal time, you'll find that you may just get the final bits of the Meta Show because the Meta Show is actually starting right after us. Yeah.
Yeah, I hear Brisk is going on a date.
He's got something going on that he has a prior appointment for, but so they're doing the Meta Show literally in 15 minutes. Oh, he yeah.
Well,
we figured out the summoning spell.
Has the itching subsided, Bart?
I don't know what you're on about.
He's still struggling a little bit with the foaming at the mouth, though.
So how was the convention, by the way, Bart?
It was not what you have been telling people it was, you damn bastard.
You told me how it was pronounced. How was it pronounced?
You did say you were going. You did say you were going. Oh yeah, sorry,
it's a Smurf thing. It's a Smurf convention. But basically, you know, it's one and the same thing.
Convention. Damn it.
Bar Ghost feeling like he's got a little bit of a Blue Man Group king.
It may have morphed into something else while we were trying to figure out and, like, you know, explain as to why you weren't on the show. So.
Yeah, Jesus Christ. Please
yes, my son.
I'm glad we have you back to explain what it was. What were you at there for?
It was a 3D printing thing. And then I was at a Comic-Con afterwards.
Why was it called Smurf?
COVID, yeah. Because it's initialized.
Did you what?
3D printing Smurf?
God damn it. Sanjay Mortimer Rap Festival. So SMRRF. Pronounced Smurf.
So
you know,
did you find out how to finish that Macarial?
Technically it's done. I've just been really lazy, Soph, and I left it on cardboard while the paint was drying at some point, and it's dried to the bottom. So I'm a little bit figuring out how to get it off. Technically, it's done.
Okay.
I'll remove it. Can't you invert the box that it's attached to, and, you know, that's how you?
Oh no, it's just dried into the base of the print. It's only where I painted it, so I'm sure some sandpaper would take it off. But
okay, yeah,
you know,
it should be fine. A little bit of sandpaper and some touch up.
Yeah,
and then make sure you don't put it back on that side.
No.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, it's also that kind of I'm not fully happy with it. I can see layer lines still, and I want them gone before I send it to you. So I've just been doing more and more coats of paint.
So thank you very much. Thank you very much, Bart, for coming on and showing that you're not in some weird old lifestyle, or you know,
not that I've publicly disclosed.
Yeah, but as we probably have to, like, stop 5 minutes early so that Brisk can do his thing with, like, setting up the channel for Meta Show. We should probably really quickly do our one last things.
I agree.
Yeah.
Call it out.
I mean, Bard Ghost has done his one last things, which is he's not in any of that kind of stuff. So. Okay, real quickly then, Bart.
I don't know. Go from the bottom up. You start, Mac. I'll do last.
I mean, I literally there's two things that I had to that I have to kind of shout out. One is shouting out in it because, you know, number one Azariel in the game. Thank you very much. That happened this Monday, by the way. Confirmed this Monday by CCP. So the first Azariel in the game isn't in it Azariel, which is fantastic. And the second one is we released a Christmas song, and it's fucking hilarious. I'll post it. I don't think we can play it because of, you know, the fact that it's, you know, a parody of a popular Mariah Carey Christmas song.
Oh God!
It'll probably get the like when this is sent to
Whack-a-mole.
YouTube, it'll probably get whacked. So yeah, but I'll link it in chat for everybody. But those are my two things.
The Christmas song that I linked in another place.
So in the interim of us finishing and you guys starting, you know, watching Meta Show, you could, like, you know, smash through that. It's fantastic.
You missed a real opportunity there, Mac. Brisk needs to open with that.
I mean, Brisk could open it with that, but he's not in it anymore. He's a fully fledged goon, and in it aren't in the Imperium anymore. Remember?
No, I selectively chose to forget.
I'm putting in like non-Imperium propaganda into the channel. Apologies, but broadening your horizons, opening your minds to other things.
Right.
I will say that is Wick in a French-made outfit.
There you go.
Yeah.
Anyway,
all right.
Sloth.
Yeah. I got nothing.
I go last.
Eric?
I go last.
Dirk?
I mean, I suppose mine is just a reiteration that Wonka is pretty great, and if you're looking for something to just kind of chill out and have a cool, like a relaxed couple of hours over this festive period, if your family stress you out or anything, maybe consider just a trip to the cinema and see that, because it's actually quite good.
Nice.
That sounds like a fair shout.
There you go. You've had your few minutes to figure out something to say, Bard.
Yeah, and I will admit that Dirk saying what he has actually made me click on something. Because I know it's kind of got bad reviews the last couple days from critics, but Rebel Moon's actually pretty decent.
I thought you were going to say Starfield's a good game to play.
No, fuck that. No,
I was going to slap you across the face.
Obviously, the new Snyder film, right? I was expecting it to be crap, but no, it's decent. It's this weird Star Wars cross hints of 40k, kind of. Caldari, Tamba, yeah. So critics is 23, but viewers is like 60 something. It's another one that's got a horrible split, right? Because Snyder is Snyder, and yeah, critics don't like him.
I'm always a little bit more inclined to go with the non-critics in terms of whether it's good or not.
Yeah, Tamba's saying 81. So yeah, I mean that just sums up the split, right?
That's quite a split.
So yeah, it's going to be. I think I'll sum it up as it's going to be Marmite. You're either going to love it or hate it.
That's fair. All right, and Eric.
All right, I just want to let everybody know that in our manger scene here at Casa de Asmock, we have baby Jesus in the manger. He is in his tuxedo T-shirt because it says, "I want to be formal, but I'm also here to party." Okay, so that's what we have here. No, on a serious note, I want to wish everybody Merry Christmas. We will see you. Let's see. When will we see you next? We decided we're doing a.
I'm not sure whether we're going to have one next week or whether we're
day
going to skip
before
it and
New
do
Year's
a New
Eve show. Maybe, probably, maybe. All right,
possibly.
All right, go eat lots of cookies. Don't forget to leave out carrots for the reindeer, or they might do bad things on your roof. Okay, and cookies for Santa, but Santa also likes beer and nachos every once in a while because he gets tired of cookies.
Yeah, don't give anybody that lump of coal, aka carbon, because even though it may only be 0.01 meters cubed, it does weigh 4,400 kgs.
By the way,
I don't suggest moving it anywhere.
Yeah, Brisk is not on a bathroom break. Okay, he's putting gel in his hair, and you got an echo because my things are done, but I'll fix that. But yeah, Brisk is not on a bathroom break, putting gel in his hair because he wants to look good for all of you. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
All right, take us out, McLeod.
See ya, everybody. Have a good time over the Christmas period. Bye.